Let your mind go and your body will follow.
You know, we seem to be so inundated with negativity. Do our feelings create the vibe? Is that part of, at the beginning of our discussion, I had asked you, how does the global consciousness go down? Is that sort of how this happens?
So the negativity, yeah, for sure. As we are in lower ages, the way it goes is that there's more people that are ignorant to the truth. There's more delusion in the world, which creates more of a confusion. In a delusional world, the things that do not support us and make us feel good, we give credit and energy towards, right? As we go higher in ages, it shifts. There's still a little bit of delusion, but the things that really kind of support us in living an empowered, harmonious, and compassionate lifestyle becomes basically the most common thing. So on the grand scheme of it all, the negativity was supposed to happen because it gives us the contrast of having these experiences of darkness so that we can transcend into some light awareness. But then on the idea of the third dimensional awareness of that, are we creating this negativity for ourselves? Well, the way it works is it's a fractal. Whatever you put out there, you get more of. The universe isn't like a parent that says to you, oh, you do all these bad things, let me give you some good things. The universe is just one big Xerox machine. It just reflects to you more of what you put out there. So if you put out negativity, you create a downward fractal for yourself that you keep getting that back. If you create positivity for your life, you're going to get more and more experiences, synchronicities of why you want that. So the reason why we're such a hole of negativity is because we've been putting it out there for so long. But now if you talk about the elite and the governments that literally cultivate and market fear to the masses, and humans are at such a level of being so docile that we're able to accept and own this fear as our own, it literally creates a world where we're at such a lower vibration because we're in so much fear, right? So not only are we creating it ourselves, the negativity is perpetuating or fractalizing back to us, but then we have organizations and groups that deliberately want to keep us in fear so that they can maintain control.
Let's talk a bit about your website, Portal to Ascension. How do you help people?
So Portal to Ascension started in 2006, 2008. I changed the name to Portal to Ascension. We're basically a conscious event production organization. I started with a few events a month, but now we do around 110 events a year on a range of conscious topics. About 40% of our events are rediscovering our ancient history. Like for example, we have a whole entire conference on Sumer and Mesopotamia coming up in February. And then we do conferences, 3-day conferences on UFOs, extraterrestrials, sacred sexuality, spirit, all types of spirituality, self-empowerment, sound healing. So it's a one-stop shop for consciousness. In regards to the bottom line is to empower the individual to remember who they are. And through that, we go through hundreds, if not thousands of different topics that lead to that same truth of remembrance. The ancient history component I love the most because when we talk about our true history, we start discovering a lot of hidden truths. And then within that, you also have the concept of UFOs and extraterrestrials, and you also have the awareness of the spiritual level that these ancient beings were at. So as I said, around 40% of it really does delve into ancient history topics, but then the rest of it is pretty much everything else we can think of. Any concept I thought of, like for example, the physics of the universe, 2-day conference on quantum reality and the physics of the universe and how it connects to consciousness, right? So at this point, I've created around 3,000 plus conferences, webinars, retreats, tours, and we have over 10,000 hours of footage on our website. And if someone signs up at portaltoascension.org, there's immediately 3,000 hours of free presentations on a range of topics, and every single month we keep adding more. So throughout the year, you can sign up. We do like a handful of free events. Most of our events are paid events. And then we have about 3,000 free hours of presentations. But people can sign up to attend live conferences, webinars, come to a live event, come to a retreat, and then they can watch it back. So our website is kind of like a Netflix for consciousness in that aspect as well.
What does one of your events look like?
So let's say we have the workshop. So a lot of us, 60% of our events are individual workshops and webinars, right? For example, we just did an event with William Henry called Eden Restored. And it was basically looking at and dissecting the revelations in the Bible and taking some truths out of it from where it came from and directly connecting that to the fifth dimensional experience and how this came from even ancient knowledge that had to do with extraterrestrials, right? So he did a 3-hour event on that 2 weeks ago, and people sign up and attend, they watch it, they get the replay. But then 40% of our events are multi-day conferences or all-day conferences, 10 hours a day, 3 days, 10 hours a day, panel discussions at the end. Those are more like mission-oriented, hardcore energy events because people are there with us for 8 to 10 hours throughout the day. We have 5 or 6 presenters. We have a panel discussion at the end. We have music sometimes on the event, and it's just nonstop, nonstop download after download, mind-blowing information after mind-blowing information on a lot of the events. And then some of them are experience-oriented events where it's not so much about the intellectual information, but about how to integrate it, tools and techniques in order to basically, be at a meditative state. So our events are, all over the place in regards to experiences, but it's definitely, it's fun. It's like attending a live conference because we've created this online university that makes it in a way that you actually feel like you're there in person. So you're engaging with other attendees, you get to speak to the speakers, you get to ask questions, all that kind of stuff.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show today. It's been really, I can't help but to use the word enlightening. It's been enlightening, and a lot of fun. I enjoy ancient history. Ancient history is without a doubt my favorite topic because I can't imagine a world where Sumer was the first civilization, and in a conservative science basically says humanity's about 200,000 years old, 150 to 200,000 years old. And even if you go with that, that's a long time for nobody to build some sort of city or civilization. So I'm constantly interested in that. And then plus I have to admit, I loved a movie when I was a kid called Fire and Ice. It was an animated movie. It was done with rotoscoping. And it's like this prehistory sort of story. And I've always thought like, man, that was so cool. So I am always down for a topic on prehistory, and I hope you come on again sometime, and maybe we can dig a little deeper into that.
Yeah, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you having me.
All right, thank you very much. You've been listening to Neil Gaur here, and if you want to find out more, don't forget to check out portal2ascension.org.
I'll have a decaf coffee.
I'll have a decaf espresso.
I'll have a double decaf cappuccino. Do you have any decaffeinated coffee ice cream?
I'll have a half double decaffeinated half cap with a twist of lemon.
I'll have a twist of lemon.
I'll have a twist of lemon. Yeah, I'll have a twist of lemon.
I'll have a twist of lemon.
I'll have a twist of lemon.